Hey guys, this is Latina Lesbian Podcast. Join us and let us guide you into your healing journey. I am your host, Evelyn Golden. As you can tell already, Natalie will be joining us in the future episodes. For this one, it's just going to be me and a special guest, my elder brother, Ezekiel Golden. He's going to be sharing personal experiences, advice, and his own healing journey. All right, guys, so we're here. I actually have my brother here with me. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hi, first of all, hi, everybody. Evelyn, hi, this is my sister. My name is Ezekiel Golden. I am 36 years old, and I currently live in Houston, Texas.
I want our listeners to know, how they can start their own healing journey, because at the end of the day, that's all of our main goal. And, I want to ask you, how did you begin your healing journey?
Yeah, of course. Healing is such a personal journey, and there's not one right way to do it. There's a million ways to heal. Well, of course, we've all been through different situations that, have caused trauma, the big word trauma, the buzzword.
Right, the buzzword.
Yeah, I think it's almost trendy, trauma. But at the end of the day, don't we all have it?
Yep, we all have it. Some type of trauma, right?
If it's big or small, I think that we all have that in common. Some people deny having it, but I think at the end of the day, we've all been through our things. Mine, where can I start? I'll try to summarize it. I think, like a lot of us, our trauma starts, in childhood. Not blaming our parents, personally not blaming our parents. I think that every journey starts, when you're a child. I think parents make a lot of mistakes. Everybody's parents. It varies from, very bad to little mistakes, but I think there's no manual in being a parent, especially with me I'm the firstborn, and I don't think our parents knew what they were doing, as of many parents. You
right.
can be the most prepared person, and it would never be good enough. So I think it starts there. My parents were young. Like I said, they made a lot of mistakes. I don't want to go into it because it's too long, but I want to say my healing journey starts when I become self-aware of the trauma that I had from my parents, making mistakes. So my healing journey starts there. It starts there, but also I was self-aware because I was in a almost 8-year relationship. I'm gay. I consider myself. Oh, I am gay. He, him. And I was in a gay relationship. My first love, very intense, very toxic.
Sorry to cut you off there. What would you consider like a toxic relationship within your personal experience?
Man, well, with us, it was, from my part, again, I made a lot of mistakes in our relationship as well. Again, seeing what I saw growing up, thinking it was normal, as Latinos as well. You grow up seeing, the fights and the drama, and we almost normalize it. It's almost like a joke in the Latino community, which is bad.
Like the machismo, the beating of the wife, the violence. The violence.
Yeah. So I grew up with a lot of that. And again, we were both very young. We were maybe in our late teens, early 20s. And it was just toxic. And, we both made a lot of mistakes. And at the end, he cheated, and I was completely devastated. He cheated, yes, that ended it after 8 years, but it was toxic, excuse me, since the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was so desperate to heal, which I thought then was of the cheating.
I have a really quick question for you.
Yes, of course.
So, from all that trauma, I mean, you said that you started to normalize what, like, was there violence between you guys? Like, what exactly was like toxic? Because I know he eventually cheated on you, but can you be a little bit more specific on that?
Where can I start? Of course, violence, which was awful. We almost normalized it because we're two men,
Right.
you know. So we said, we would always say, well, we're two men, which is, of course, is not normal nor okay, which is still awful. But we almost normalized it because we were two men, and I mean, I'm not beating my wife up, you know, which is just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of jealousy, you know, verbal abuse, a lot of codependency. Like, I couldn't go out without his permission. He couldn't go out without mine. If he didn't like one of my friends, I had to stop seeing, like, a lot of issues that then I didn't know. I saw it as normal because growing up, I grew up like that. And second of all, we both would apply that into our relationship as young gay men. But when we get separated, I'm so distraught and I'm so desperate to heal that I remember I would call my mom crying and I would just be like, I wish I could just take a pill to stop feeling this pain. I think I was truly depressed for at least 1 year. And it took me many years to get over it. But what really helped me start healing was I was reading every book, every self-help book on relationship. I wanted to know the psychology behind cheating. Why do people cheat? I was just so encouraged to be better, to feel better, that it was truly a blessing in disguise because it really made me self-aware. I didn't know what trauma was. I didn't know all these buzzwords. And back then, I mean, this was years ago. Back then, it wasn't
a thing, right?
Especially in the Latino community, you know, we tell our parents, oh, I'm depressed. They'll tell you, pray, or, you know, clean, or you're bored. Or many Latinos, like, you see all the TikToks and the memes, like when you tell your mom you're depressed, and it's almost a joke. But I think in the Latino community, it's so not taken seriously, you know.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the healing, I think that was a true blessing in disguise because not that I'm perfect, but I am most definitely not that dumb little boy that I was many years ago, you know. And it made me better, and it made me stronger, and it made me who I am now, and it made me 100% times better for any new partners that I've had. You know what I mean? So it made me self-aware. I learned about healing traumas, and of course many other things about relationships and about myself as well. So it was truly a blessing in disguise.
Right. How can somebody start being aware? I think that's the most important thing to talk about, because somebody can be stuck in a cycle forever and they just can't get out until, like you said, until you're aware. That's the beginning of a healing journey. So how can somebody, you know, get out of the situation that they're in and then be self-aware? What would you recommend them to do? What would be the first step?
Man, it just varies so much because every situation is so common. I mean, there's straight relationship with, you know, when there's children involved, and the mom thinks that she has to stay because the children, which is worse because they see it all, and it just creates their own trauma since then. But I think just self-awareness, just being so hurt that you try to heal. You try to literally, like a cut, like you have a cut in your skin and you want to make it heal. And I think a lot of people don't know where to even start. I think for somebody that, you know, that's listening that doesn't know where to start, I think, as cliche as it sounds, God, you know, I'm grateful for that as well, because it truly made me get close to the Lord, praying, and reading. Pray, you know, the Lord listens to you. Of course, I know not everybody's religious. I understand that. That was part of my journey. but reading like your information, seeing about groups, other people that are going through the same thing as you. I could assure you there's a million people out there with the same problem. And they have gotten out on it, and so can you. So can everybody. But I think knowledge is the key to self-awareness. Trying to be better for you, and being so tired of being miserable like I was, that you start doing your own research. And now it's such a blessing. We have Google, we have social media, so many things that, man, even when I went through it 7 years ago, there was not as much help as now there is. So I think that if you really want to help yourself, just do your research and find communities that are going through the same thing. I think that would be very helpful.
That's really crazy that you mentioned how it wasn't a thing back then. Because now we have all these resources, right? Now we can listen to everything. And guys, you just have to remember that you have to go out there and listen to podcasts. Go out there and try to help yourself. And, I know that you brought up God. And I want to, like you said, there's a lot of people that are not religious, which is understandable. Or a lot of people who just don't believe in anything or just believe in manifestation. But guys, I really want to point something out. And it's crazy, but everything does tie up together. The Bible, manifestations, positive energy, and healing, it's all part of the bigger picture. So I wanted to ask you, how do you connect all these elements to help you heal and help you get through the day every day?
Man, well, like I said, I only got close to the Lord when I was in my healing journey. I did a little bit of everything, and then my mom would always tell me, just pray, and I would be like, no, Mom, I it's nothing. it's not gonna fix anything if I pray. I would pray, but I wouldn't really pray. And again, it's such a personal thing, everybody's time, is very personal. I'm no one to push, especially my religion, into nobody, because I don't even think it's about religion. It's about getting, and you don't have to pray to God. You can pray to the universe, to your own beliefs. And again, it does tie all with each other, which is it's really a beautiful thing. Like I said, my life changed completely once I got over that breakup, and I had so much knowledge, and I got closer to, I was more spiritual. That's when I started manifesting good things in my life.
Why is it so important to stay consistent with all of this?
It's important because manifestation and your relationship with the higher being it's constant. It's not a one-time thing. I know about manifestation. It's you attract how you feel, and it's harder than it sounds. Of course, I'm sure listeners, a lot of them know about manifestation. We know about manifestation. You just want to manifest a better life. You want to manifest good things. And if you're down and you're being toxic and you are going through negative things, that's the hardest part, to stay positive. The hardest thing to conquer is, if you have a positive mind, you have a positive life, which is hard because,
shit happens all the time. Yeah.
We have shitty days, and but for me personally, my life didn't start getting better until I changed my attitude. Gratitude is incredible. Gratitude will change your life, if it changed mine. Even if you're going through, man, I remember I was between apartments, and I had this tiny apartment, and I had a little bed, and I knew better days were coming. I think we've all gone through hard days, but you just have to tell yourself better days are coming, and be grateful. Be grateful for the phone that you have. Be grateful for the air you breathe.
The little things that you have, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we are not billionaires, but we have health, and if we truly master the mind, we can literally have anything we have. We are short on time. I have many stories, and it's almost incredible how to the T I've manifested things. As you know, I've moved a lot. I lived in Arizona, in Texas, in Oklahoma, and I've met incredible incredible people. I almost see my life like
Like a
like a
movie.
book.
Like a movie
Yeah.
or a book, right?
Like
I
a book, and
guys,
there's
I'm the one who's like most stable. Like I'm a stable one. And then my brother just like loves to travel. He doesn't get scared. He's like, "You know what? I'm just leaving with my phone and a Walmart bag or a purse or a bag, and I'm dipping. I'm leaving." And he could just start from zero. And like months later, he has his shit together. Like it's insane how fast, and that's because he trusts in God, he believes, and he keeps manifesting. And that is so powerful how like somebody can just leave a city and then
I
just
really
trust
do.
themselves.
I really do. I've left. I could sell everything in the apartment, leave with one bag, and I'll move, to another place. And I moved to Houston almost. I was supposed to move to Arizona. It didn't work out. I went to go visit y'all for like a month, my parents, and then moved to Houston. Didn't have anything planned.
No job, nothing, right? Like nothing at all. Mm-hmm.
I probably had $1,000 in my pocket, but you have to have faith, and you can't be scared. You can't be scared. I have friends, and they tell me, "How do you do it? You're crazy." And I'm like, "You just have to throw yourself."
You just have to do it.
I was a little bit over a year ago. Now I have, the job that I want. I'm grateful. I'm dating a wonderful guy, and I'm excited to see what Houston. But you know what, sister? I think that I'm gonna stay here. I really think, I'm getting older, and
I feel
crazy,
it too.
but
I feel it. You just, I can feel your energy, and you're just so happy that you feel so comfortable and safe and secure.
I really like it. Whenever you guys have a chance to visit Houston, it's such an amazing place. Every city I've lived in, it's been great, but I think Houston, and if God's willing, I'm ready to stay here and start a family, and
yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
Good stuff.
Awesome. No, I'm really, really, really happy for you, brother. I wish you nothing but the best, and I just want to see my family, my siblings growing and just being the best version of yourselves. I feel like a lot of people are stereotypic about religion because I feel like our families, our generational chains have like stopped us or made us feel afraid of like the Bible and church. And just so you guys know, we're very religious. It's weird because I'm like a lesbian, my brother's gay, as you know, and we're all very religious. And we just want you guys to understand that, you could also be faithful. You can believe in God. You can have a relationship with God and also be your true self. And I want to ask you, brother, why people get so scared because of Mexican families, because of religions, just religions alone. But what advice would you give somebody who, is terribly afraid of religion or who's had a terrible experience in their past?
I think in our case, especially growing up as queer kids, I think, and not just I'm pretty sure a lot of people all over the world, you grow up and they tell you that being gay is bad. That my personal story is that I grew up, I came out in my very young. And you're bad. You're gonna go to hell. Being gay is bad.
They tell you that, yeah.
And I think a lot of gay and queer people and gay people and anybody from the LGBT community, that's why they are not very spiritual. And again, I'm not saying you have to be spiritual with my religion. It's good to be spiritual, mind, body, and soul. And I think growing up, everybody that comes out, it's something that parents and society throws in your face. Society picks and chooses out of the Bible and any other religion. We're just saying because we are both Christian, me and my sister. But,
right.
In any religion, and they grow up saying it's a sin. So I think a lot of teens or young adult queer people that come out, that's one of the things they shame you, that that's bad and it's a sin. So I think people like myself, I grew up, thinking that God didn't love me. I grew up thinking that God didn't love me. So I think all my 20s, I wasn't, and my mom would go to church and I would just kind of roll my eyes and I'd be like, "God, it's so lame." And, I was just,
Yeah.
it was just like, I was not interested. I think again, as you know, my parents both became very religious. And I talked to my dad a lot. My dad's like my best friend, and we have a lot of conversations. And he told me one time, I was already like in my late 20s. He tells me, "I want you to know that God doesn't, if people judge you, nobody could judge you but God. As long as you're a good person." Of course, him meaning because, I told him that I felt like God didn't love me because I was gay. And he told me that that's not true, that the Lord created everybody in their image. So, a lot of people don't understand that people are born gay. Again, I say, who would choose this lifestyle? It's a hard one,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Yeah.
especially straight people. I still have coworkers like in their 50s tell me that, "Oh, you're so handsome. Why would you choose that lifestyle?"
No
And I don't even,
way. For real?
yes, middle-aged women, and it's mostly women. It's really hard.
Women?
Like ladies. I just don't
Hell?
even bother. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I can't educate everybody or be bickering. I'm just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
But I think the people, that's why they get. But the Lord loves all of us. The Lord loves
Right.
all of us. And once I understood that, that's when I started getting close to religion, and it just spoke to me, and it's what worked for me. And
It elevates
you know,
your energy in a way you feel loved, right? It's like your spirit becomes alive and your job is just to keep in that high vibration level, right?
yeah, of course. And again, it goes hand in hand. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how manifestation of religion, and not just Christianity, a lot of religions, it goes hand in hand, um, about feeling good and praying. You're manifesting, you're asking a higher being, to help you with life, and it does, it truly does.
And
Again, we only say Christians because that's what me and my sister are, but every religion, as long as you feel you could talk to and pray to your God or your higher being, I feel like that is almost needed for
right, it's like some
for a
type or
person.
form of like meditating. And I know you mentioned that, society picks and chooses from the Bible. Can we get into detail? Like I really want to talk about that.
Man, where to start? It's everybody, especially. I don't wanna pick at anybody specific, but especially like the tios and tias, it's because in the Bible it says, but what are they doing? They're divorcing, they're cheating on their spouse, they're lying, stealing, and it's all a sin. But they want to specify
On
what
gay
sin they
people.
don't like and what sins they do like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they pick and choose. What about the part of like where it says because I know you know the whole thing. I don't really know how to like say it. But if you can tell us like that specific part in the Bible where they mention no man should be with no man.
Oh yeah, well I was telling you. So there's this priest here. Actually no, I met him in Arizona in Phoenix, and he was going on. He was asked. He was going. Well, the Bible, as you know, has been interpreted, it's been translated millions of times. It's been taken out of context. Things have been changed on it. So
Yeah.
in Hebrew, when it started, it said, originally it spoke man, because that's the only time it speaks about homosexuality, and it doesn't speak about lesbians. It speaks only about homosexuality, and it's only that verse. It says, "Man will not lay with man as man lays with women." Right. So the priest, the father was saying that originally it states, man would not lay with boy as lay with woman.
Wow.
Speaking, of course, of pedophilia, man would not lay with, with boy. Of course, it got lost in translation many times, and now it's man would not lay with man. So it's like a lot of things, like, again, I am a Christian. I know that the Bible has been tampered with and has been changed many times. So I don't really go for the Bible I use it more as a guide, what speaks to me.
Yeah.
And of course not literal, because it has been changed so much. So many things have been taken.
It's whatever.
Out of it.
It's whatever resonates with you, right?
Yeah, of course, whatever resonates. And I use it more as a guide. As a guide for being close to the Lord, manifestation, and not so literal as a lot of people in the old days, and still now do.
Wow, we've been having such a great conversation, Zeke, and I'm just so happy that our listeners get to hear this and your personal beliefs and experiences. So thank you so much for that. So Zeke, any advice for our listeners, that are just trying to get better with healing, with manifestation, or even just trying to get close to God? Somebody who, for all of our queer listeners and gays and lesbians that, listen to us, what can you tell them? What advice can you tell them with your experiences?
My advice is that you are not alone. Even if your family, I know a lot of our brothers and sisters in the gay community, in the LGBT community, they feel alone. But sometimes the family that is not there for you, you get to choose your own family. And, it will get better. It will get better. You're not alone. Be strong and do your research. Look for a community like you, because I promise you there's somebody that's going through the same thing as you are. Do your research. Find a community close to you. If you need the help, look for the resources to get the help. For me personally, it was that. My healing was about my breakup.
That's and what actually eventually started it, right?
Yes, but like I said, it was truly a blessing in disguise. Mm-hmm. The Lord it's such a personal thing. But pray. If you don't believe in God, pray to a higher being. Pray to the universe to feel better, to do better, and I promise you, better days will come.
Don't think we are trying to push religion to you and try to convince you otherwise. We're not. We're just trying to open your eyes, help you begin your healing journey, see what's out there, see your options. But that's really much it. That is really up to you. We're just here to help you, share our experiences, and help you heal. Brother, well, thank you so much for being here, making the time to talk to us. I'm sure listeners really, really appreciate all your advice and experiences. So thank you so much for sharing it. I hope we can do this again, hopefully.
Great. Of course, yeah, whenever you want to, I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. And just to remind you guys, we will be posting future episodes. This is not over yet, okay? So don't forget. Just stay tuned, to whenever we post our next future episodes. We're very excited. We're just working on them right now. And of course, I know you missed Natalie, but she will also be in the episode, so don't worry. So, as always, signing off, Miss Golden. Stay golden.
Stay golden, guys.